Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Infinity, episode number 38, recorded April 14th, 2014. I am one of your mini hosts on this evening's broadcast, and I am so excited to... Wow, that was bad. I'm so excited to be with you all here tonight. The live broadcast is playing in my ear at a very high volume. I'm very happy and excited to have my Inside Infinity co-host, Mr. Jason Haynes, hailing from Australia today. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. G'day, mates. G'day, listeners.
Look at you. You're using the Google Lower Third. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I changed my Twitter handle to the Jason Haynes, and so I've been too lazy to update my actual built-in graphics. So there it is. Google Hangout to the rescue.
Nice, nice. And up next from the VGPodcast.com, the video game podcasting network, Lloyd Hansen. How are you tonight, Lloyd?
I'm doing wonderful, Will. Thanks for having me back. It's been a while since I've been back, so it's great to jump on the show and talk some DI with you folks.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. It's weird. I was thinking how long it's been, and it's been a while. I don't even remember. Far too long.
Far too long.
Well, we're happy to have you. And last but certainly not least, Travis Denman from the Vinylmation Kingdom website and the Facebook group Infinity and Beyond. Infinity and Beyond. How are you tonight, Travis?
I'm good. I feel a little left out. I don't have that little, lower third thing going on, but whatever.
That's okay. We will plug where people can find you and your information later.
I could write something. No, I'm too lazy.
I think you should, and you should just hold it below your chin
like
the entire.
I'll make something up. There you go.
Awesome. Well, we got some news from you coming up later in the show, and we're very excited to have you on the show, especially since last couple episodes we have missed you due to technical difficulties.
Yeah, stupid iPad.
Stupid iPad, but that's okay. You're here tonight, and that is all that matters for now. I'd like to say hello to everyone in the chat room. I see our good friends Papa Echo and Putz are in there, along with the members of the show. Oh, and of course we can't forget I Like Turtles. I Like Turtles. We like you as well. If you want to chat and watch us live every Monday evening, you can do that. Just go to InsideDisneyInfinity.com and you can see the live broadcasts 8 p.m. Mountain Time every Monday, unless we have a reschedule. But more times than not, I think it's almost been every Monday. So welcome, folks in the chat room. We are excited to have you, and we actually have a pretty fun show ahead of you this evening. We have some news this week, which is awesome. But before we get to that, let's discuss some rumors. I don't know if any of you guys saw this. I'm putting it in the rumors because I don't believe it. Did you guys see this before I get into it? What the Disney Store said on their Facebook page?
I just saw it today when you sent it to me, and then I tried to track it down on their site, on their Facebook page. Couldn't find it.
Did they remove it? Well, for me, it was in a thread of maybe 100 comments.
Really? Okay. And you found this?
Where did I see this? Oh, I got a Google alert for it. So basically, it was the Disney Store on Facebook. They posted a picture of Darth Vader, I assume drumming up excitement for the Star Wars weekends that are happening in May. And this started a long comments discussion, and someone alluded to, like someone asked the question, does this have anything to do with Disney Infinity? Well, the response to that question, and I quote from the the Disney Store Facebook page, it says, whilst there are no plans for Star Wars to join Disney Infinity at this moment in time, please come back for more exciting updates to our Star Wars collection. So they're saying there's no plans for Disney Infinity and Star Wars. I call shenanigans.
I call canned response to any sort of question that falls outside of their script.
Exactly. Well, especially since it did not have the words "the possibilities are infinite" in there. You definitely knew that was not coming from a Infinity rep.
And I do not see the photo of Darth Vader on their Facebook page anymore. So.
Really? Well, let me see if I can. I'll try to get a link to
Well,
show you.
could it have been one of the Disney stores, not the actual Disney store? Because like all the Disney stores have their own Facebook page too. So.
That's a good point. I'm going back to the original link, and I'm going to see if it's still there. Now it takes me to a spam site.
Well, there you go. There we have it. We broke it. It was
We
spam.
broke
Thanks,
it.
Will.
And now
So-
Will has a virus.
Yeah, good thing I'm on the Mac. So here's the original picture. That's
awesome.
the Star Wars figure, and so it was DisneyStore.co.uk. It looks like, and let's see, part of that with Marvel, blah blah blah. So, yeah, I don't. Let me see if I can get everyone can see. I don't know. What's your take on this, Travis?
My take is at this moment in time, meaning that minute in time, there was no plans. That could change. They were talking about them being in talks about it. Now, granted, I don't think anything's going to happen until 2015 myself with Star Wars, but
Okay.
you never know. So.
And so, Jason, what do you think, my friend?
Yeah, I just don't think they want to tread on the if it has been taken down or whatever. I just think it's clear they don't want to tread on their Marvel news at the moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, it's been very obvious that they have been talking about. There's this real big push for Marvel with the teaser announcement, and well, it's not really the announcement, but with the teaser and with the other news that we're going to discuss later in the show. So yeah, maybe it was just them not wanting to rain on that parade. And actually, I found it, so it is still up, which surprises me.
What Facebook page is it?
Disney Store UK.
Yeah. And
I posted a
here-
link in the chat room.
Oh, you found it?
Oh, sweet.
So
It's my
for
last
those
album.
that are, yeah, if you are watching this after the fact, you can see it there on my screen, highlighted here. So, and a person asked, "Is this for Disney Infinity?" I sure hope so. So, I don't know. So Lloyd, you started to say you don't agree. You think this is just redirecting.
Yeah, I think it's just a canned response. Most PR people working a low-paying job don't want to say anything off the script. So it just sounds like a standard canned response. But I don't know. I think I'm like Travis too. I think Disney Infinity Star Wars will come out as a full release next year when the new movies are coming out. You might get maybe onesie twosie figures for Disney Infinity 2 or 2.0 or whatever the next version is. But yeah, I tend to think that the full Disney Star Wars or Disney Infinity Star Wars is a little ways away, unfortunately.
Travis, do you know when was the announcement made that Disney acquired Lucas, or the rights to Star Wars? I mean.
Oh, that was beginning of last year?
Yeah. So of 2013. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember? Lloyd or Jason, kind of the reason I asked this is because Disney Infinity 1 came out in August.
October 30th, 2012.
Okay.
So late third
So-
quarter.
So near where you're saying. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I wonder if the lightsaber was just something they threw in there at the end. Maybe they were kind of looking for something to give as a last kind of payoff reward for those that really heavily invested. And they're like, well, because it's a small thing, even though it's a very powerful weapon, it's kind of, in my opinion, just a small nod to the franchise.
Could be. I was at Downtown Disney shortly after the announcement. It was probably maybe the first or second week in November, and they had just started putting out Star Wars phone cases at the little kiosks that have all the cell phone cases. So it was like, oh, we got this stuff, let's move it. They're very, very quickly scrambling, putting this stuff up. So it was pretty funny. So this could have been one of those things. It's like, okay, we need to put Star Wars in all of our stuff. How could we do this for Disney Infinity?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they took some something else that they had planned for the Ultimate Pack, and just change the code to make it look like a lightsaber.
Ah, could be. That's an excellent thing. I wonder. Maybe it was like a powerful sword, like an Excalibur or something. Although that's already in the game as well.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe that's why Sword in the Stone was kind of bugged, where you could get it early if you went into a game where someone had it unlocked and got level 15 or whatever. Maybe that was the ultimate pack, but
that could have been, yeah.
They swapped it out to lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously speculation, but it's kind of interesting, right? I mean, it could totally, because like the Sword in the Stone is kind of for the chosen one, right? And if you had to be a certain level to get that, well, you still have to be, but like unlock a certain amount of things to get that, it would make sense in that respect too.
My thing with I don't know, I didn't really watch the entirety of your show last week. Did you guys talk about the fact that like the lightsaber is like a one kill shot, and would that be going into the future renditions? Would that even be? It would take away some of the gameplay, being able to just kill anybody with one shot.
Jason, I don't think we mentioned that, did we?
No, I don't think we did.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going through a playset and the lightsaber can kill one person, any enemy in one hit combo, that would just defeat the entirety of the playset.
Yeah, I think they would definitely have to nerf that to make it appropriate for gameplay, not just toy box, which is obviously a lot more lenient. So. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to the news of the week. So, first couple things we are going to talk about. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is actually news to me. Pirate on the show is the one who brought this to my attention. So, MCV Awards 2014, Disney beats The Last of Us in new game brand category. What is the MCV Awards, you might ask? Well, it is. I have no idea. I saw it at one time. So it looks like it's a UK video games industry award, and yeah, it was one of 15 winners, and Disney Infinity beat out Last of Us which is pretty awesome, especially since Sony won a lot of other awards, it looks like. So.
Interesting, eh?
Disney Infinity has done crazy well. I mean.
Yeah, the UK market is pretty flooded with a lot of fans of the game, from what I can gather. So, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, yeah, and that's evident of something else we're going to discuss later in the show that is a UK exclusive, something we're not getting here in the States. There's lots of communities around Disney Infinity, both in the UK and other places worldwide. So it looks like the market for computer and video games. It's a word. It looks like it might be sort of our, I don't know, GDC awards or E3 type awards. Or Lloyd? What was the one that we just had? It wasn't GDC. It was
PAX.
Was it DICE? It's an industry.
Yeah, this looks like I think MCV is it's like a magazine type website that they have out there. They do a lot of stuff. They've been around for a long time.
So it might be like the IGN if IGN gave out awards.
I think that's pretty close to what it would be. But they have a magazine. They have iPad apps. They have everything like that. It's here it is. MCV magazine is the essential weekly information resource for everyone in the games business. So it's kind of a little bit. It's more, I guess, industry facing than consumer facing.
So I wonder how those votes are made. I wonder if it's people within the industry or how. How. Sorry.
Yeah, I would think it would be industry folks would be commenting on it. I would think.
Yeah, which is cool. That's cool. I mean, there's no doubt the impact Disney Infinity has had, and I don't know if I would go so far as to say that it is the single one thing that Disney Interactive has released to really pull themselves out of the red. But if it's not, it's pretty close to the only thing that's done that. I mean, we've seen a few pretty impressive games come out of Disney Interactive this year, but by far Disney Infinity is the one that has. I mean, let's put it this way: how often do you? And this is anecdotal, but how often do you guys read on the major blogs just random Skylanders stuff? I mean, I still see stuff here and there. That's not. I'm not to say that, but I don't know if you would hear about a Skylanders announcement leak on the front page of a prominent gaming blog. Um, I don't play, so I'm kind of looking to you guys on this. Granted, it's also something new. I think a little more new than the Skylanders name.
For sure, I think that's kind of where it's something special, where it's the new kid on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Where every once in a while you'll see a story on like the Kotakus and joysticks talking about the latest release of Skylanders figures and things like that. So any sort of leak, I'm sure, would make its way there. But it's impressive for a toy-based game besting some of the big juggernauts in the space. So I guess that's kind of a special thing.
Well, that, and I also think this might sound weird, but is Skylanders a little more universal than a Disney thing? I mean, Disney is crazy fan base and well regarded and loved, but
yeah, it's been around forever. Well, not forever, 3 years, which is kind of forever in video game years.
Gaming.
And it started with the Spyro franchise, which has been around forever since the original PlayStation. So, I mean, it has a lot of fans, just gamer fans from way back in the day.
Agreed.
But I don't think there's anywhere near as many fans as people that love Disney.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc., Pirates of the Caribbean, all that stuff. That brought in a lot of people that maybe aren't gamers and had kids that were of the age where they wanted to start playing video games. Because I know a couple friends who they bought a Wii to play Disney Infinity, and I felt really bad for them for doing it. They did it and they enjoyed it, so that was good.
That's good. I guess if you don't know any better, it's fine, right? If you have no frame of reference. Well, either way, it's cool. I like seeing this positive news about Disney Infinity and especially awards going up against hardcore games. So let's move on. Speaking of UK news, I know Roger from Vinylmation Kingdom put up a post, was it today or yesterday, Travis, about the Disney Infinity magazine. The first issue is finally going to be announced this week. Jason, do you remember us discussing this months and months ago? I feel like it was over 6 months ago now.
Yeah, I do remember it. I didn't realize. I thought it would have been out by now.
Well, they released a preview issue about 6 months ago to see how the sales did. Roger got a copy. He said that it was filled with a lot of fluff, but some of the exclusive prizes and stuff were worth I think it's about $5 American. It's $2.99 UK or British pounds, I guess, to get it. So for him, it's totally worth it. He's planning on picking up the first official issue tomorrow. And he'll probably post it on our website and let everybody know how he feels about it. But I actually tried to get a subscription today myself, and there was one website that does special subscriptions, $10 an issue plus shipping over here to US. Not worth it for me at this point. So. Yeah.
For diehards, I mean, it's one of those items that you may want to pick up. Kind of the tagline is every issue is packed with great tips on how to play the game in interesting ways, and it includes puzzles, posters, and the like. Kind of sounds like a Disney Adventures magazine for Disney Infinity.
Oh, I love Disney Adventures. Oh, can we bring those back,
is
please?
It still out?
No, it's not. It ended a long time ago.
Because I grew up with it as a kid. I don't know if
I think I still have the first few issues.
That's awesome. Lloyd, Jason, did you guys have that magazine as kids?
No. What's it called?
No. It's called Disney Adventures. It was like one of those, for us here in the States, it was one of those like really small magazines that you would get at like the checkout while you're at the
I think
grocery store?
I think we still get that.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I saw that at the checkout.
It was basically a Disney afternoon in a
Yeah.
book form.
It was.
Yeah.
I would assume now it all has to do with like Disney teeny stuff. You know, it's like whatever.
XD and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But man, back in the day, it was awesome. I loved it.
It's right beside all the Archie and Sonic comics in
Yep.
the grocery store. It's kind of funny.
Exactly. So yeah, and those gifts, it looks like they're going to continue. So keep your eyes on Vinylmation Kingdom to read Roger's kind of take on that magazine. I'm definitely excited to see it again, especially since it kind of fell off my radar a little bit. So cool. Next up on the list of things to talk about, Travis, you wanted to just run down some Toys R Us stuff for the week.
Yeah, as we all know, or most of us know, Merlin was released this past Sunday at Toys R Us. However, a bunch of people had issues because the Toys R Us system said it wasn't going to be available until Tuesday. If you were knowledgeable and you explained your situation properly and you got a manager over there, a lot of them did override it, but there are some managers out there that still didn't. However, good news, tomorrow it will be available to everyone regardless of if you were delayed 2 days. So that it's the last power disc for Disney Infinity's Toys R Us special Gold Pack exclusives. So technically, if you got all of them already, you have all power discs are complete. So
Wow, isn't that a relief? I don't have any Series 3 yet. I'm kind of holding off this time to try to financially do that in a smart way. But
are you waiting for the possibility of a Series 3 album with a set that people are really clamoring for?
No, I gave up. Sorry, what was that, Lloyd?
I really, really want an album.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for an album. I've given up on the album with the set. Just give me an album.
Yeah, because I have my Series 1 and 2 and their albums on the shelf, and I don't have random little plastic discs laying around my gaming area. So I don't know if I'm going to be so interested in getting Series 3 if there's nowhere to put the discs.
Well, I don't know if it was mentioned prior, but this was my take on the whole situation with Series 3. Disney changed horses midstream. They added 2 discs to the Series 3 makeup. They announced it at Toy Fair. I don't even know if the website is updated yet. So my biggest thing is I have a feeling that PDP made the albums, then found out we have to add 2 more slots. So either they ditched the whole effort or they're remaking the albums as we speak.
Interesting. That does make some sense right there, because we haven't seen anything like that. I mean, that's something we've seen. We saw the albums long before the
2 to
release
3
of
months
the disc.
prior, yeah.
Yeah. So something probably happened there, and that makes sense. That's a good good hypothesis there.
Oh, and then we have Crystal Perry. People are like saying, "Oh, it's going to be April blah and April blah May." You know, every Toys R Us employee seems to have their own opinion on when it was going to be released. As of today, the people I talked to, there's no official release of Crystal Perry. He is coming. He's in the database. There's just no release date.
Well, you know what? All I can say is we are lots of months into this game. I'm glad they figured out these exclusive releases by now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, as long as they figure it out in DI2, hopefully they have a post-mortem when we find out how DI2 is going to be released, and they can be like, okay, this is what we learned last time around. We didn't learn it through Skylanders or from the Disney side of things. It's new to them, so they're having to figure that piece out, and the rest will be a little smoother.
Just God help us if they follow the Skylanders thing and they make a Frito-Lay's exclusive Disney Infinity character, or ones you have to buy like cereals or Happy Meals or something to get. It's just going to get pandemonium if they do that.
Does that really happen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Skylanders has a deal with chip makers, so that you buy this big party pack and you get a free figure when you send away for it, but it's only in the States, so people like me that are up in Canada have to buy them off eBay. I don't even have any of those figures because I could care less about supporting that way of dishing out figures. It's really annoying.
Lloyd, if you ever need them in the future, let me know because I have the second set.
Oh, cool. I'll have to let you know. Sure.
Yeah, but they also, in addition to the little ones that you had to mail away, there was actually one. It was a glow-in-the-dark exclusive that was only available by entering a code online, and they were giving one away every 15 minutes, but you had to be at the right moment in time every 15 minutes. So,
Wow. Yeah, Disney, don't take those notes.
Please don't. Please don't.
Oh man, I've already gone crazy collecting everything that I can find in store. And here we sit and complain about blind packs. That sounds like a fun event compared to what you just described, Travis.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Cool. Any other Toys R Us news?
People are saying Crystal Mickey's still going to come out. There is no tangible evidence except for those screenshots. I'm going to say that at this point, no, he's not coming out, but other people are hell-bent in saying he is. So there is no official word either way. Just, either keep up hoping or give up.
I have a theory for Crystal Mickey. I think it's going to be a pre-order bonus for buying the second game.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you got on the air, Lloyd. And I agree with you. That could very well be. That's why we haven't seen a figure.
Totally.
So,
That's what Skylanders did. They had a light core hex as a pre-order bonus for the new game. So I could see Disney copying that because that's a good way to incentivize the pre-order of their game.
And buying the game full price instead of getting it half price like on release day.
Exactly.
For Skylanders, are those unique items, kind of like, or maybe not unique, but rare items like a Crystal Mickey might be?
They're actually probably rarer because they're only available with pre-orders.
Okay, so that is the only way to get them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even after release, it's not like a timed exclusive or anything like that.
It depends on how many pre-orders they get. They did a special special character this past fall. If you ordered a certain amount of Skylanders product, and then all of a sudden, like in the past month or so, all these ones that were like going on eBay for like $50+ are now $10.99 on the shelf at Toys R Us.
That's awesome.
Lloyd, if you need a green Gil Grunt, let me know. I got a couple.
Cool. Yeah, we'll talk off.
Talk off air, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I must admit, Skylanders is on sale this month, and I've never played a single game. But boy, I've seen Lloyd playing it on my friends list, and I've thought about it, but I just don't know if I could buy into another one. Especially Lloyd, at least you have excuse with kids, and Travis, you're just a diehard collector of anything. I don't really have an excuse, so.
I got into it collecting the figures, and I wish I didn't because talk about a lot of figures. Disney Infinity doesn't even come close.
No.
Not even close. Not yet. Okay, God. If we have 7 different versions of Wreck-It Ralph in the next set, I'm going to kill someone.
Yeah. Tap out. Time to go.
I just can't wait for that first edition or that first episode of Disney Infinity Hoarders where someone has like a closet full of nothing but Disney Infinity figures, and it'd be like Pirate Steve. He's like, I got this one because there's a black mark over their eye. I got this one because their foot wasn't painted.
It's funny and it's accurate. There was a guy on the Skylanders forums way back that had 2 or 3 of every single figure and every single set of Skylanders, like the actual game. So we had the Xbox 360 version, the PlayStation 3 version, the Wii version, the PC version. Like he had all these boxes. He had multiple boxes just to have them all, and they're all boxed up, and they're all in his wall. And then he bought another set so his kids could actually play the game.
That's
like
awesome.
Wow, that's something.
Dedication.
I think the closest to that, I apologize to anyone who does this that's listening right now, but the fact that you need every single character code card in the United States release and the UK release and the Australian release, any different one, including different combo packs.
Wow.
I mean, you're trading full figures for these little cards, and you don't even care about the codes on them. I can't spend that kind of money. I don't know if you can. Great, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, more power to you if you are one of those collectors.
Hey, yeah.
It just shows like dedication.
Yes.
And you know what? We're all we're all collectors here, so not one to judge. We just admire your
Dedication.
dedication. There we go. Well, gents, we got some other news this week. We got some very exciting news. So one thing that it's been a constant topic of conversation, and luckily it hasn't been an issue because the show has been, the show must go on, and it has gone on because we've always had something to talk about. Sometimes it's been things we've just kind of come up with on the spot. Other times we've been getting news for the week. And this last week, we're not going to go into too much detail until after the toy box, but Jason's toy box rundown. But Disney Infinity finally, at the very least, they confirmed Disney Infinity Next. Whatever that means, it's Disney Infinity 2.0. And with that, also, we got a leak. I don't know if we can really call it a leak, but there was a media event at the end of this month, April 30th, and yeah, Travis is going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show, but it's funny, I just found this odd because what happened, so Phineas and Ferb released, what was that, April 1st?
Mhm.
Right?
Officially, yes, yeah.
Officially. A week later, the teaser happened, and then a week after that, not quite exactly a week, but the following week, which is this week, the media announcement happened. And so I think we might see what their strategy is to keep the steam moving along. Yeah, I think that excites me because now after that media event on April 30th, we're sure to get lots and lots more info coming out a little more regularly in the form of trailers, interviews, videos, stuff like that. So, cool. Well, with that, that is going to be our feature for tonight in just a little bit. But Jason, do you want to discuss the weekly toy box challenge?
Yeah, I do briefly. I thought I'd throw in just one last tidbit of news that I just remembered just now. It's not really Disney Infinity related, but did you see the announcement of the new Disney 3DS game, Magical World?
Yes.
Yep.
And I almost bought a stupid 3DS for that game.
I don't know when it's coming out, but it's like they listened to our show and put every one of our ideas into this game and said, well, we can't get it in Infinity, so let's just put it in Magical Worlds, and it just looks like an amazing game. I'd buy a 3DS just for that.
I have friends that bought a date on release day down in New York City at the event that they had, and have been playing almost nonstop since. So
Really?
Wow.
yeah,
It's got everything I
and
wanted, cards and decorations and everything.
And just so you know, Jason, this is actually a Japanese game that's been out for, I think, a year or two over there, and it was wildly popular over there as well.
Right. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that because we haven't mentioned that on the show before, and it's, as I said, I mean, as far as a Disney game's concerned, it looks like one of the better ones that's ever been released as far as just general that Infinity Disney World type, element, universes, I guess you could say.
Well, and from what I've read, it's kind of their take on the Animal Crossing series, which is crazy popular. So that was a smart move. But the cool thing from again what I've read, if you guys have any more info on this, is it sounds like they did take some of the successful elements of Animal Crossing, but then they've definitely added some things and improved some things where it makes sense in kind of this game, which is really cool. It doesn't sound like it's just a rehash with a Disney skin on it.
No, it just looks really good. I thought I'd mention it because I like the fact that it's got cards and it's got some of the things, like the ideas we talked about the idea of having a hall of heroes that you could decorate with different textures, and it looks like exactly that kind of a deal. And it looks like it's all pretty much exclusively classic Disney classic stuff, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reviewing really well as well, so if you're on the fence, that might sway you one way or the other.
I like the actual 3DS special edition, the gold with the Mickey on it. That was pretty cool. Not cool enough to buy it, but cool.
Yeah, they had that special edition 3DS, and then they also came out with a pink 2DS that is Mickey.
Yeah, not this country.
Really?
Not this country. No, last special one we had was the Zelda one, the Zelda 3DS.
Yeah, I think didn't we have a Yoshi one? Wasn't that the last one released here, Lloyd?
Yeah, there was a Yoshi
Before this
one.
one.
Then there was these two. I think the 2DS was a Target exclusive, and then the other one was, I think, more general release. My daughter almost talked me to getting her the pink 2DS, but I held strong since I already got her a pink 3DS XL. So it's like, you don't need two handhelds. Although I kind of like this one, but no, I was wrong.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh.
Well, those that frequent the show, I love pink, and so the 2DS actually caught my eye. Plus, I hear for adults, the 2DS actually is better because or not necessarily better, but it doesn't always cramp up your hand as bad because
It
the
needs bigger screens though. It still has the
yeah.
small screens from the regular 3DS, which they're too tiny for old man eyes.
Old man eyes.
So Papa Echo in the chat room and he said he spent 45 minutes sewing with Daisy Duck. Take that because I asked him how is it. He's like, take that how you will. And it sounds like a good time for
I'm going to
us.
put that on the shopping list. That sounds like the perfect game for my flight over to the States.
My
There you
friend
go.
decided he wanted to spend he spent a half hour partying with making like a tea party with Stitch. It was
How ridiculous does this sound? I mean, it sounds awesome, but yeah, he just wanted to spend an hour and a half throwing a tea party with Stitch. That's hilarious.
and he felt bad because he didn't have he had the Stitch body, but he didn't have the Stitch hat. So he had to go find the Stitch hat so he could do it again later.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, that was good. Good job, Jason.
Anyway, all right, on the shopping list. Moving on with the toy boxes. Yeah, I literally just did those before the show, and it was Horse Week, which made me very, very excited. I think all of them, 4 out of 5 of them, had horses in some form or fashion in the toy box, and I'm an amazing driver of a horse. It's worth watching the videos just to see my horse skills. Um, but in fact, I should just leave it at that. You must watch it to see. I mean, it really is flawless. I was able to recognise it as playing, and I didn't stuff up once. But I think by far this was the last toy box. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but the one with Aurora's Adventure or Challenge or something like that. It's a Sleeping Beauty toy box, but I couldn't decide. Did anyone here play the level I believe it was the Aladdin week where there was what I at the time thought was the best version of a boss fight with Jafar as the snake. Does anyone remember that toy box?
Yep, I do.
I don't.
Um,
Sorry.
Well, this week I couldn't decide. I couldn't decide which was the better boss fight, but this got an amazing boss fight in the form of Maleficent as sort of, really elegantly transforming into the dragon, and then a really cool boss fight where there's fire and just a really cool dragon. It's just an amazing effort at a what I would deem as a classic boss fight. So I give major props for that. And as I said, I really was honestly thinking back, trying to work out which was the better boss fight because they both felt so good in a traditional platformer sense, I guess. So that would be my pick of the week. Go play that one.
Awesome. And yeah, for more info and to see Jason's awesome horse driving skills.
Yes.
Horse
Crazy.
I
driving.
love your horses.
Yeah, it's amazing. I really want there to be a horse challenge this week so that we can have some. I was just thinking, like one of the toy boxes felt like a beautiful Sunday gallop through the forest on a horse, and I thought I just want a toy box where a bit like that car one that was based on the what is it the Disneyland cars. What is it, Aurora or something like that? Autopia cars, is it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whatever those are. I just want one that's based on just going through a forest and exploring on horseback. I think that'd be amazing.
Well, Jason, that would be easy for you to do, my friend. You just plop down a couple land pieces, throw some trees, and you just start riding around.
I just review them. Other people make them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next gen you'll see some impressive next gen horse gameplay, but we'll see.
That has a pet system in there involved where you have to like actually groom your horse and feed him apples.
Do they have many more horses to release? I mean, a lot of them are already released in the first 3 series of Power Discs.
You know what, Travis? I would think you would know at this point that we are masters of Disney lists, and because you just said that, someone's going to come on the show and list off the other 100 horses that still
That's
exist
true.
in the Disney
I mean,
universe.
I'm already thinking of the Wind and Willow's horse. There is Ichabod's horse. There's a whole bunch. Yeah, never mind. Forget I said it. Just
You're like,
cut it.
just joking.
And there's still time to fit some horses into Star Wars.
Tauntauns, though, right? Didn't someone brought that up last week?
Yes, they did. They did. That, yeah, I'll class that as a horse. That'll be all right.
Yeah, close enough.
I'll master it. No problems.
So to see a more in-depth version of Jason's Toy Box review, check out youtube.com/Disney Infinity TV, where he runs down those every week live right before the show. Next week is going to be the Alice in Wonderland Toy Box Adventure. That is the challenge. So looking forward to that. That should be fun. We get to utilize some of those Alice in Wonderland power discs we have.
Didn't we already have one similar to that? What was the one that we had that was, I feel like I remember a week where there was like 2 or 3 Alice in Wonderland themed toy boxes.
Was there a maze challenge one? Maybe. I'm just trying to remember.
I remember one where there was someone had done a huge table with a massive, like, teacup and stuff like that, and then there was another one that was a really good telling of the Alice in Wonderland story. I just can't remember what the name of the theme was.
The teacups one came from the Disney Parks one.
Maybe was it?
Yeah, I think you're right. But I remember the one, Jason, you're talking about, because there's the one Alice-inspired one where you get shrunk and you go on the door, and then you go outside. Yeah, and then you had to fight the hearts at the end.
Yeah, it was a really good one too.
Yeah. So I don't know. That'll be fun. I'm sure we'll see some awesome toy boxes there. So, guys, I got some. That's a little bit past the news section, but some late breaking news I didn't see until just now. It was posted on the Disney Infinity community site, which is infinity.disney.com and news. It looks like you can now, if you have the PC version of the game, you can play the Incredibles playset. So the Incredibles playset and Toy Box are both free to explore now when you download the PC game. So that's cool. That's the first time we've seen a downloadable playset, I think.
No, I had all the playsets unlocked when I downloaded the PC version.
So actually, this is great, Travis. I have a question for you. How were those unlocked? Do you think, or do you know?
The code that came with your starter pack, the starter pack code, the Cars code, the Lone Ranger code, and the Toy Story code that came with the.
That's what I figured, because it couldn't be figures, right? Because you could buy a Mater figure and that wouldn't unlock the.
No, because the code is built into the
RFID
playset pack. Just like if let's say you put in the code for the Frozen pack, you actually will unlock Anna, Elsa, and the 2 discs that come with it, instead of having to buy the discs separate.
So I've only played with the Windows 8 app version of this, and I don't know if it's different, but is there a way to purchase these playsets?
Yes.
There are, right?
You can purchase anything, playsets, characters, and hex discs. The only thing you cannot purchase from the console game that doesn't go over are the circle discs.
Okay, so I wonder if they're going to start, as we lead up to Disney Infinity 2, if they will sparingly give out these playsets to kind of drum up interest for the sequel.
Or maybe they figured that people weren't paying, you weren't having people buying or downloading as much, so they give an incentive to get them hooked.
That's a good point, because I feel like you can't really get a good feel of a playset doing anything but playing a playset, because they're also individualized.
Right, and they already included, Mr. Incredible was already included as the intro figure when you downloaded the PC version. So why not just throw him, the playset, and then in that playset you have all the treasure chests and the unlockables with the vault and stuff. So then it's like, oh, I want these characters. So then they'll gradually buy the characters, and then it's a slippery slope. So
yeah, cool. Well, that's cool. More value there.
Yeah, it's interesting to see them giving out a free playset.
Yeah.
So.
Cool, cool. All right. Well, now let's get to the big ticket items of the week. So let's do this in in chronological order. So first thing, it happened Tuesday of last week, the day after we recorded the Star Wars show, of course.
Of course.
Why we didn't do Marvel? I don't know. Now. I mean, we had a very specific plan prior, but then after this, Jason and I were kicking ourselves. Why didn't we do Marvel?
You picked the wrong one at the wrong time, dude.
We did, because literally the day after we did the Star Wars episode, Disney teased. Well, actually, Marvel teased. I still haven't found the very first place to post this. The very first place I saw was Marvel's Twitter.
It's Marvel posted it on their homepage, linked to a YouTube video.
Okay, and then you guys, I'm gonna bring up the Valmation Kingdom website, and so yeah, it's a brief teaser, and it's only 27 seconds, but as you see, we see Di2 characters on here, and then you see that, which is the big piece. We see, what's that right there, Travis?
Medusa's car boat. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason and I, we discussed this a little bit. That's exciting, because what do you guys think of this? And why did we see such an obscure item from a movie?
Well, I mean, when I first met John back in Chicago, he told me that they're trying to do something from every movie, trying to get eventually every movie represented. And I mean, Condor Man, he was able to get rights to Condor Man very easily, so that's why they have the wings of Condor Man in there. And they were talking about trying to get every classic movie involved. And what are you going to put, the mice? Medusa's car boat is like the only thing I could think of that's iconic from that movie that you could put in as a power disc or an unlockable of some sort. I'm assuming it's a power disc myself, but
yeah. What do you think, Lloyd? Do you kind of agree with Travis on that? It's just
yeah, I think so. I don't really think of anything else from that movie that you could include, which would be fun to play with. So at least another vehicle would be kind of cool to motor around in.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then towards the end of it, this is the payoff, right? I mean, you could gather that earlier in the teaser, but I should mention the title of this teaser is called "Get Ready to Assemble." Then it ends with a bumper. It says, "Bring on the superheroes," and oops. Then right there, that is. We see two pieces of information about this. We see in the lower right-hand corner the Marvel emblem, and then in the upper right-hand corner. So Marvel, that's pretty self-explanatory. We know Captain America is going to, at the very least, Captain America is going to be in Disney Infinity 2.0.
At the very least, his shield.
Yes, that's true. Good.
His shield.
Yes, though, I honestly think. I think this is their acknowledgement. I think we're going to see lots of Marvel stuff in here.
I'm not saying we won't, but that teaser only showed the shield.
You're right. I should have prefaced this particular part of the conversation. There's going to be lots of speculation here, and Travis will be good to point out anything that is fact versus speculation.
I deal with it every day.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And Jason and I, if you're interested, we did do kind of a frame-by-frame teardown of this teaser, and we posted, or you posted on the BK site last week. I posted a link,
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Jason and I, we just nitpicked the heck out of it.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the nitpicking. It was great speculation.
Yeah. Who knows if any of it's going to be true, but
anywhere from the depth perception to the textures. I mean. That was top-notch speculation right there.
Well, yeah. Honestly, there was reasons we said all of that. I mean, we know it's for the next version of Disney Infinity, and I think there is some weight to be had that we saw only one or two new things in here, but we saw a whole lot of old things in here.
Yes, I agree.
So, yeah, I don't I don't. Lloyd, I know your son's a huge Captain America fan, and you're just a Marvel fan in general. Are you surprised that they came out with a bang and teased it? The very first thing officially we've seen about Disney Infinity 2.0 is this teaser.
Yeah. Well, if they're gonna go with superheroes, that would be the best one to lead off with the movie just hitting theaters. And Captain America is always a favorite, and it's iconic. I mean, that Star Shield. I mean, anybody sees that and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Captain America." Even someone that doesn't read comics or watch comic movies, just because it's been around for almost ever. I'm hoping that there's a lot of my favorite Marvel characters in whatever Disney Infinity 2 is, because I love me some Marvel from way back in the day. So yeah, but I'm not surprised, to answer your first question. I think it was a very smart way to do it, and to announce it on Marvel's YouTube channel. That just makes sense. Like, hey, we're one big happy family. We don't have to hog the limelight on our Disney Infinity Twitter account. We can let Marvel share in the fun.
Well, that, and up to this point, a Marvel-only fan had no reason to care about Disney Infinity other than the fact of the pipe dream of maybe one day. This is very clear recognition from Marvel saying, hey, you guys might want to keep an eye on this, just like other Disney, more traditional Disney fans would. Yeah, you know what, Jason and I, we touched on this a little bit. Jason, so the fact that, based on what Lloyd just said, is like this makes sense if there's going to be a big Marvel focus. It makes sense to have that announcement coincide with Captain America. I mean, we've talked a lot about how we wish and hope they would pay a little closer attention to their Disney environment and what's happening in other spaces outside of Infinity. And to me, this might be indications of some lessons learned.
Mm-hmm. I've had a couple thoughts this week on the subject, and the first thing I want to speculate, I wonder if, and we've discussed this briefly before in a previous episode, but I'm just wondering whether this will be the first time that we see a Disney version or a Disney Marvel version of Spider-Man or the X-Men. I wonder if those will get in this iteration of the game, because I know obviously Sony own the movie rights, but I think there was news this week that Spider-Man's actually going to be a character appearance in one of the Disney theme parks overseas, Disney Paris or somewhere, or Tokyo, one of them anyway, is going to have a Disney a Spider-Man character meet and greet, which on the surface sounds like, yeah, big deal, but then you kind of think about it, well, this Spider-Man has to look different to what the Sony Spider-Man costume looks like. So we're going to get a brand new Disney interpretation of a Spider-Man that's exclusively a character that's not linked to a film license. So that'd be interesting to see that. If they can do that, then theoretically there's nothing stopping Spider-Man being in this Marvel game, which is, again, sort of slightly a side topic. I don't know if anyone else owned the rights. I would imagine it's possible someone might own the rights to the X-Men in a video game.
Well, both Spider-Man and the X-Men were in the Lego Marvel game that just came out. Or
yeah, the superheroes, yeah.
Yeah, so you could play with all those figures. So I think the rights just extend to movies as far as Sony owning.
But the one thing, Lloyd, with the Lego thing is Lego has the rights to the figures, and the figures are the ones in the game. So I don't know. There could be that loop.
Marketing and IP rights and agreements there, that's really confusing stuff when you get
very much so.
We can only hope anyway. If you're going to have Marvel game, let's hope that we can have all the Marvel characters represented. But the other thing I was thinking about this week is, like, we all, I mean, at least I knew, we all kind of knew on the surface, as soon as you heard about Disney Infinity, what it represented, everyone immediately knew that at least once the Star Wars acquisition and the Marvel acquisition were announced, it's like, whose mind doesn't go to the fact that those characters were going to come to this platform if it was a success. And my thoughts sort of ponder this, because when my generation, I mean, I grew up with Disney films in theaters. I believe they used to re-release Disney films in the theaters every 10 years or something like that.
Correct.
So I Pinocchio. I saw, right back through the classics I saw in theaters, and I started to think about in today's age, like my kids, the sort of this younger generation in a world where there's so much choice for entertainment. I actually wonder how much weight Disney entertainment, as far as the old classic stuff is concerned, has, and I I guess what that translates into is that when the Marvel hits and the Star Wars hits, I'm thinking that stuff is on such a bigger um, interest scale with the youth that I think this is really going to take Infinity to that next Skylanders even higher popularity, and I guess that's why I think that hint to the classics still being in it is a direct message to us, the diehard fans, to say quite possibly Marvel and Star Wars could really take over here and be the popular figures for Infinity, but we haven't forgotten about the original classic content.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think that's the importance that we should take away from Medusa's boat is that yes, we acknowledge what kind of what the breadwinner is in this whole thing, but we're not going to forget the original stuff and very popular in its own right, more classic stuff. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think they announced. I think again, I was listening to Inside the Magic just this morning, so I got a bit of tip of news. But was it the Marvel movie franchise is now the highest grossing franchise of all time, and like Star Wars isn't too far behind it when the new three come out, and so Disney own the two biggest movie making dollars wise franchises out there. It's hard to imagine that when Marvel and Star Wars are introduced to this game that it won't eclipse anything Infinity One has done.
Yeah, and it's not even just movies. It's everything. Like Marvel and Star Wars are the two biggest moneymakers across toys, across merchandise, clothing, you name it. Disney was really smart buying those properties and leaving like the Star Treks and the other still popular but not, oh my God, look at all the money they're making, popular stuff like Star Wars and Marvel.
Agreed.
And also, the other thing I just wanted to mention was that we speculated in the video about what this 2.0 edition means. And I think the important thing to remember, even if this is what I would call a 1.5 release, an up-resed, same engine that was on the PS3, and it's just getting ported to next gen, they're adding all new toy boxes, blah, 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 but it's sort of not a huge leap. I'm absolutely confident that this version 2.0 is going to answer most of our questions as far as creating a much more expandable platform than what Disney Infinity 1 was. I don't think we're going to have that same situation where we had this finite amount of figures and stands for figures in a Hall of Heroes. That was just my speculation, but I guess the point is, if there is anyone else out there listening thinking, oh, how could they really turn around a proper sequel in such a short amount of time? I think even a 1.5 version is going to feel create a whole lot more possibilities.
Well, I'm interested, Lloyd and Travis, what do you guys think to that?
Yeah, like I had this conversation with a few people actually. We were going back on both sides of the fence whether 2.0 is just going to be an update or DLC or whether it's going to be a full release. And I said there's no way that it can't be a full version, even though they're not calling it Disney Infinity 2. It essentially is Disney Infinity 2. They've always said that Disney Infinity is going to be forwards compatible, so anything that you buy for the first one will be playable in the second one. Well, that would make sense why they're calling it 2.0. It can't be DLC because things like the Wii, which is whether you love it or hate it, it's a huge install base of Disney Infinity. That would just leave those people leave them out in the cold, and then it gives them the ability on the figures to say requires Disney Infinity 2.0 or later. Instead of just saying Disney Infinity 2 and getting confused when Disney Infinity 3 is out. It's like, well, this one says it needs Disney Infinity 2, but I have 3. Like, what should I buy for my kids? It gives them a little bit of an easier way to market it. So I think that's probably what they're going to do every year. They're going to come up with a new 3.0, 4.0, 5.0 version of Disney Infinity and just push new features into it, yet still allow you to play with all the old stuff that came in the earlier versions.
Yep. That's the way I feel too. I mean, I think it's recognition of that platform, and it's a good way of easily signifying that yes, we are backwards and forwards compatible, or at the very least backwards compatible, and we are saying that by considering this a version of the first, and regardless of the technical behind the scenes, what that version means, whether it's an overhaul or a repurposing of the original engine with lots and lots of upgrades. I don't know. Travis, what do you think? I know you dealt a lot with this last week on the groups.
Yeah, I'm an admin for one group, Infinity Beyond, and I'm also a member of a couple other groups. The biggest argument I have towards something brand new is there are a lot of people that I know personally and on those boards that don't have their units hooked up to the internet, so they can't get the updates. There are people that I know that don't have the Tron disc because they don't have it hooked up. They didn't get the update, or they didn't get the patch, or they didn't get this or that. Eliminating that many people from, even if it might be a small quote percentage of the people, eliminating that amount of people with something Disney doesn't want to do. They don't want to piss off customers.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just make more money and put everything out. Also, the collectability factor. If you make downloadable characters, I know there's one, Glow in the Dark Buzz. Don't understand why, but and he's only downloadable for the PC and the app. He's not even downloadable for the console. Just making that just downloadable stuff, you don't have the character. And I, for one, got involved in it because of the characters, because of the figures, because of the way they look on the shelf. I'm a toy collector. I'm not necessarily a gamer. So.
Well, and I think Disney's well aware of that, and it not only has used Disney Infinity as kind of a test bed of, okay, how did our concepts actually play out in implementation, and was it correct? I think we're going to see some things fixed, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to abandon the big picture of how it works. I just don't think they would do that. They were conscious and very deliberate in their decisions of having these figures be physical and this being a family product. And even if the family does have internet access, their kids may not have permission to access it, and so they don't want to alienate them. And I don't know. I mean, I definitely think there's a middle ground, and maybe we could get a combo where it works for all parties and all demographics.
I like the idea
we'll
of. I like the idea, and I agree that. I mean, it's tough. You don't want to exclude the people who don't have an internet connection, but I like the idea of a platform. If they're going to boot 2.0, I like the idea of an updatable version of their platform that we can get. Disney Infinity 2.5 that adds this, and that, and then maybe similar to what the Wii did, that if you buy a figure, maybe they could ship version 2.5 on a disc that comes along with a figure that requires a certain, version of the platform. For those that don't have an internet connection, they can get the update on a disc that gets supplied with the character when you buy it. And then, as Lloyd said, just clearly label on the box, if you want this character or playset or whatever it is, it requires minimum version of this Disney Infinity. But to me, I would imagine, and I have no idea, but I imagine the vast majority of people who own this game are online and are capable of updating their platform. And the fact is, an updatable platform is better for everyone because bugs can get ironed out a lot quicker, and more incremental content that is not attached to figures necessarily, but more sky textures and whatever can be added at a faster rate, which allows more so for the things we discussed. Was it last week we were discussing the things about tie-ins with movies as far as maybe scanning your RFID-enabled combo cup from the cinema and stuff like that? And so, and then ultimately, as I said, it's not that expensive to print a disc with an update and ship it with your already expensive figure.
Well, cool. Let's time will tell. We will see the direction they go, and who knows, it could go a hybrid direction. We're kind of running up to our time limit here, but so I want to make sure we talk about this next piece. So I first saw this today on a major website, Polygon, just a general gaming website. And so basically what it is a media invite went out to for an event on April 30th. And this is, Travis, and if you have more info on this, this was the physical invitation, and it's a lenticular disc. That's kind of appropriate if you ask me. And Travis, you actually brought this to my attention. I don't know if you can see it on the video very well, but this is in the background here. You see it's the New York skyline. Over here on the left, we have the Brooklyn Bridge. And if you look closely, Travis, what is this over here?
That would be Stark Enterprises.
Yeah, that's the Stark Tower, right?
Yep.
So who knows? Who knows if the Marvel playset's going to take place in New York and include something Iron Man? I could see that being interesting. And then this is you actually wrote this article today, Travis. You just want to run this down a little bit.
Yeah, well, after I saw the Polygon thing, I honestly thought that maybe they would be holding the event in New York City, being that Marvel is headquartered in New York City. So I emailed my contact asking about the event, and I got a digital copy of the backside of that lenticular disc inviting me to the event in Hollywood, California. So I will not be going. We're looking into possibly getting someone from Infinity and Beyond, Vinyl Nation Kingdom, out there. We have some friends out there that might be able to do it. The problem is it's a Wednesday morning, so it's going to be fun for a lot of us that have 9-to-5 jobs. The greatest thing is it's going to be, if you read it, you can read it there on the screen, but it says you're invited to the exclusive event to unveil the latest chapter of Disney Infinity, featuring Disney Interactive President Jimmy Pitaro and Marvel Chief Creative Officer Joe Quesada. That's awesome, in my opinion. Those are two heavyweights doing this event. It's bigger than just in what some people said. Oh, it's a patch. We're going to be putting in you're going to be able to get new vault items for Marvel. There's no way that they would be doing an event like this, big media event, with official invitations for Power Disc or just updatable unlockables. It's something big. So
yeah. So let's look at the what evidence we have so far. We have the teaser, which very prominently displays Captain America's shield, and then at the end it has the Marvel logo and 2.0 in the upper right-hand corner. And then we have the very first piece of that evidence is that it was announced on Marvel's Twitter account. Then the trailer was called The Assemble, Ready to Assemble, and then Captain America, and then this. Marvel.
Far too cryptic for me. I can't work it out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure, but Marvel might have something to do with Disney Infinity too.
And another thing, since the event is not being held in New York City, the fact that the Brooklyn Bridge and the fake Stark Enterprises, which does not exist in New York City, by the way, in real life, the fact that they are on that, if you look at that lenticular, IGN had a better picture of it. They took a head-on shot. It's, in my opinion, has to be set in New York City. A play set in New York City. I'm not saying it is, but I look at that and I see the disc, I see the Captain America shield, I see Stark Enterprises, I see the Brooklyn Bridge. It's iconic New York. Avengers in New York City, in my opinion, but again, they've learned to dupe us before. So,
well, and I think this is why it's even more important that they showed off Medusa's boat, because if you looked, if that piece wasn't in the teaser, you might be concerned that Disney Infinity 2.0 should be called Marvel Infinity. And although I think it's going to play a big role in it, I don't think it's going to play much bigger of a role than, say, the MU starter set or the Incredible starter set. I mean, maybe they'll have a few starter sets, but basically my point is that it's not just going to be Marvel Marvel stuff in Disney Infinity 2.0.
And wouldn't it be incredible if we lost nothing? If this 2.0 platform literally had everything of Infinity 1, right down to the sky textures, and you know what I mean, so that we lose nothing. It carried all forward, so that by like if you removed all the new stuff, you could feel like you were just playing Disney Infinity 1.0 on a next gen platform. You know what I mean? So effectively, you could throw your 1.0 disc in the bin.
That'd be ideal. I mean, then you're only adding content and you're not taking anything away. I think that would be awesome.
Exactly, and they pretty much said that was going to be the case. They want everybody to use their old stuff with the new stuff. So hopefully that is.
I'm specifically talking about the stuff that's not attached to discs and stuff, though. All like the little villager people and all those sorts of things. Not on the toy box stuff, not the playset stuff, but just the toy box stuff, anyway.
Yeah, you would think it would come across since it's linked to your Disney Infinity account. They could just push that across. The people that don't have internet connectivity, they might be SOL unless they can do some sort of save game reading, but that would only be on like one platform. You'd have to have the Wii version of DI1 to play DI2 to get all that stuff. But yeah, I would assume that all that stuff will be there. But yeah, who knows? We'll know more in a couple weeks, I guess.
Definitely.
So here's that IGN post of that
there you
Travis
go.
was referring to. So
and someone on the chat said my apartment's in there somewhere. No, I don't think it is. Considering the fact is I live an hour and a half north of the city. But
by now, all of the internet thinks you live in New York City. That's what everyone that lives in New York lives in the city.
Oh yeah, upstate thinks we live in the city. New York City thinks we're upstate. Where I'm in that little part of New York where like no one claims us. We just float along.
Cool. All right, gents. I think we're run up to time. Do you have any last minute things you'd like to say about either the teaser or the this announcement?
I want to speculate a little bit. I think Disney Infinity 2 will come with 3 playsets. It'll come with a Marvel themed playset, 2 Disney themed playsets, probably one for Frozen, one for I don't know, whatever new Disney movie might be coming later in the year. But then you're going to get the additional playsets you can buy through the year. I would think there'd probably be 3 Marvel ones and 3 Disney ones. You might get like the Avengers playset with the set, but maybe there'll be the Guardians of the Galaxy set, maybe a Spider-Man set as purchasable playsets down the road, and then maybe some more Disney ones like that. I think they're really gonna. They're gonna expand the number of toys that will be purchasable because they've sold a metric ton of these things, and if we know anything about Disney, they like money. So
money.
Yeah, I think that'll be what will be coming.
I like your idea of having some theming continuing there. As of right now, everything that's been released, they've been released as a self-contained set, whether it be a Frozen set with 2 figures and a couple discs, but it has nothing to do with anything before or after it. But I like the idea of maybe having an Avengers starter set and then more Avenger play sets to kind of build on that original starter set.
Yeah. I just want a Spider-Man figure and a Rocket Raccoon figure, and then I'll be happy.
Rocket Raccoon would be awesome. Cool. All right, gentlemen. Well, I think that's going to run down the list of things to discuss tonight. It's good for us because that means we're going to have lots more to talk about in the very near future. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something else teased before the event next week. No idea, but it's been 2 weeks in a row, and this media event is in 2.5 weeks on April 30th. So yeah, the news is going to probably be coming fast, and Jason and I have discussed every teaser or trailer video that comes out, we are going to break down. So anytime that happens, make sure you check out the youtube.com/Disney Infinity TV. Travis.
Yeah.
Looked like you had something to say.
I was just going to say that maybe they'll release some Easter eggs this weekend.
Ooh. I get what you did there. That was awesome. I keep forgetting it's Easter this weekend. Cool. Travis, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad I could finally make it. After 2 times of not being able to.
Well, and now we've nailed down your technical requirements, so we'll make sure that you update prior to the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to update like every week now, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah. So for Vinylmation and Infinity News, make sure you check out vinylmationkingdom.com, and then you could also link off to there to the Facebook group Infinity and Beyond. You can go to our website if you have trouble remembering that, and just click on the link on the sidebar. We like to support our friends.
Yeah, great.
Lloyd, my friend, my VG podcasting co-host, thank you for coming on. We missed you on the show, and this was a great episode for you to join back up with us.
Yeah, thanks, Wolf. Thanks for having me. Nice chatting with all you guys. I don't know, I love doing the show. Thanks for inviting me on. If you want to see more of the stuff I do and will, head on over to vgpodcast.com, and you can check out our show over there.
And if you are at all interested, it's completely unrelated, but right after this show, we are having a kind of a Let's Play, right, of Minecraft.
Yeah, we're going to do our episode 2 of our Let's Play Minecraft. It'll take a little bit to get set up since it's been a while, but we're going to jump right in and play with the new title update, so that should be a lot of fun as well.
So yeah, if you are chatting with us right now or watching live, head over to vgpodcast.com/live, and you can see the chat room and the live Twitch stream. That should be some fun. I don't know. I feel like Disney Infinity and Minecraft are very, very, very distant cousins because you can create stuff. So, plus I know nothing of Minecraft, and you're teaching me. So.
And I'm not even gonna watch because I don't want to get sucked into another obsession. No offense.
Cool. Jason Haynes, the Toy Box Challenge Master, as always, thank you for helping me put this wonderful show on.
No problem. It's coffee time for me, and then maybe I might live stream some Mercenary Kings if anyone wants to watch that.
Am I the only one going to bed?
It's only just after lunch here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's almost midnight here, my time.
We'll go to bed then, son.
Plus, you gotta rest up for when you have to live blog the announcement in a couple weeks.
Oh, great! Okay.
Jason, what's your Twitch feed if anyone wants to check you out there?
That is twitch.tv Wanted Gamer Live.
Perfect. So go check out Mercenary Kings. It's a fun game on PlayStation 4 and soon coming to, I don't know, nothing. I don't know. Is it coming? I don't know. I'm getting my
PC,
releases.
PC or PS4.
Right.
You'll be right.
Cool. All right, everyone in the chat room, thank you for watching and chatting with us. I Like Turtles, Latin Soul, Papa Echo, and Putz 2000. We, as always, enjoy chatting with all of you each and every week. And there's Travis's lower third. It's at. I will let you say your last name.
It's T.A. Denman. T-A-D-E-N-M-A-N. It's on Twitter, Instagram. I was just joking around. It's fine.
It took you all episode to get your lower thirds working.
Yep.
But
now it's gone again. So.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Make sure you check us out on Stitcher Radio or iTunes. And if you like the show, please write us a brief review and give us a little bit of a rating. We would appreciate that. You can find us every week, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, every Monday night inside DisneyInfinity.com. So, and lastly, if you want to write into the show, give us your thoughts on Disney Infinity 2.0 or the inclusion of Marvel, send us an email info@InsideDisneyInfinity.com. All right, everyone, we really appreciate your support of the show, and we can't wait to talk to you next week. Until then, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities.
Yay.
Cool. Thanks, guys. That was a good show. I enjoyed that. I liked that Disney Infinity 2.0 stuff.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Jason, I think you started to talk about something.
No, I was just saying I can't believe we did it again. Filled another hour show. What number is this? 37, 38, 39?
38. 38.
38 hours of content we've discussed about this game that's, what, nearly 12 months old.
Oh, it's been much more than that. 38 plus 25 plus all the marathon shows. This one was sitting at an hour and 19 minutes, so.
It must be a good game then.
Yeah. All right, gents. Since I'm doing that Let's Play with Lloyd, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Thanks again, everyone, for chatting with us, and we will see you next week.